Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Mariah Bruner, and I am UCA's Wellness Coordinator serving faculty and staff. Today, we have a topic that I love and I'm really excited to share with you, focused all on the power of journaling. And we've got Beth Racklin here with us today to present. She is BeWell's fabulous graduate assistant. She is also a PhD student in counseling psychology here at UCA. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Beth.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. As Mariah just said, I'm Beth Racklin, the graduate assistant for BeWell, and I'm in the second year of UCA's counseling psychology PhD program. I'm excited to be presenting on a topic that's near and dear to my heart. And before I get started, I'm going to turn off my camera so that you're not distracted by my goofy expressions. But at the end, I'll turn my camera back on for questions and discussion. So, without further ado, today we will discuss the ways that journaling can help you feel healthier and happier. More specifically, we'll begin by first developing our understanding of what exactly journaling is, and then we'll move into the myriad of associated benefits. Next, I'll present some tips for maximizing the benefits of emotional writing, and I'll also outline a few different approaches to journaling, including stream of consciousness, journaling using prompts, and art journaling. Last, we'll wrap up today's session with some journaling resources that you can incorporate into your everyday routines. So first and foremost, what is journaling? Well, journaling is an incredible opportunity for you to privately reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It's a space for you to explore your beliefs and perspectives without fear of judgment because, again, this is a private experience. So you can write literally anything and no one will be the wiser, so you don't have to filter at all. Journaling therapeutically involves a level of courage on your part because rather than simply keeping an itinerary or a log of objective daily events, journaling involves active processing of emotionally charged things in your life. So in essence, you're developing an understanding, honest relationship with yourself. I've journaled off and on for the past 6 or 7 years, and I view journaling as an invaluable form of self-care for a few reasons. First, when I journal consistently, even if it's only for like 5 or 10 minutes a day, my mind is noticeably less cluttered. By that, I mean focusing takes less effort, and I have fewer random thoughts pop into my mind when I'm trying to focus on school or work. I find that I'm better able to express myself when I'm interacting with other people, which is really important in developing healthy, sustainable relationships. Also, and most importantly, journaling helps me reframe my daily stressors into a healthier, more realistic perspective. Another aspect of flipping through old journals that I really value is that, in my mind, my journals serve as tangible proof of my growth. Turning the pages back just a few years, it's reassuring to me to see how my thought processes have objectively shifted to become healthier and more sustainable. I definitely have a lot more growth that I'm planning on doing, but whenever I feel overwhelmed or discouraged, it's motivating for me to turn the pages and remind myself just how far I've come. I'm actually really proud of myself because, like I said, I've been journaling relatively consistently for quite some time now. And last week I wrote a final entry. And so I filled 2 whole journals with my secrets and dreams and stories. So you can see that picture there. They're definitely worn, but filled with love. A goal of journaling is to identify and process a full range of emotions. Oftentimes in our society, emotions are labeled with really broad brushstrokes. So you hear people say, I'm mad or I'm sad. And while these labels might be accurate on some level, there are lots of very specific emotions that we experience. This feeling wheel exemplifies some of them. So notice how the more specific emotions stem from broader ones. Learning to use more accurate, precise language when identifying emotions helps you learn to be more self-aware and introspective, but it also helps you communicate more effectively with those around you. Personally, I find it empowering to discover my underlying emotions and to be able to label them because it's almost like finding the right word for what I'm experiencing is like putting a handle on my emotions. So now I can pick them up, I can move them around, and maybe even compartmentalize them. Learning to label my emotions helps me feel more in control of my mind, and it helps me to be less reactive. Journaling is a great way to really explore your emotions, and you might be surprised what you learn about yourself. So journaling is a powerful tool, and studies show that it can significantly improve both physical and mental functioning. So first, I'll discuss some physical benefits. A study found that journaling for just 20 minutes a day for 4 days in a row is associated with long-term decreases in health problems, specifically in immune functioning. See, when you're stressed, your fight or flight system is activated. Your body doesn't know the difference between something you're worrying about and a life or death situation like a bear chasing you. So it's trying its best to help you. When you're stressed, your body speeds up its heart rate, reduces blood flow to your extremities, and it even increases the production of cortisol and other stress hormones. Since your body is putting all of this energy into preparing you to literally fight or flee, it's not channeling as many resources into reparative functions like muscle repair, digesting your food, or even your immune system, because your body is prioritizing getting away from the bear, or our thoughts sometimes, over all of its other responsibilities. And so when we journal, we're helping shift our body out of the state of fight or flight. Another study took the form of a meta-analysis, which just means that it was looking at 13 studies, and all of these 13 studies were assessing the benefits of journaling. And so this meta-analysis found a few common themes among all of these studies. First, when individuals processed their emotions by writing, this was usually associated with an increased physical health, which was measured objectively. This makes sense based on what we just talked about the relation between stress and health and journaling. But what I think is particularly interesting is that not only were these individuals objectively healthier, but they also reported feeling healthier too. In addition to feeling better physically, they also reported increased psychological well-being, meaning they felt they had a better developed sense of purpose and meaning in their life. They felt like they were experiencing personal growth, a deepened sense of autonomy, and they even felt like their relationships with other people were more positive. The last salient finding this meta-analysis discovered was that people who journaled saw improvements in their general functioning, which means that they felt like they were more productive and capable in their everyday routines. One last study I'll touch on regarding physical benefits of journaling is another meta-analysis. This study analyzed 9 studies that were assessing medically ill populations, and it found that even in populations where people were challenged with serious medical problems, just writing about their emotions significantly benefited their health. These findings have important implications for us. Just think, doesn't it seem like a win-win to write about your emotions for just a little bit every day if you know it's going to help you think better, feel better, and even function more efficiently? Now let's turn our attention toward the mental benefits of journaling. And as you will see, there are a lot. So first, journaling can be an effective tool to help manage both anxiety and depression. Next, journaling can help us reduce our stress levels. As I mentioned earlier, I personally find journaling to help me be less anxious because it serves as tangible proof that my everyday stressors are usually not as extreme as I make them out to be in my mind. My old journals serve as both proof and reminders of my resilience. I've faced tough things before, and I'm confident that I'll get through whatever life throws at me next. Journaling is also an effective strategy in building a happy, positive life. Simply organizing your thoughts on paper and writing about any emotions that you're feeling can help you feel more positive emotions. Experiencing more positive emotions helps fight back against things like burnout and anger, and journaling also provides a safe, tangible space for you to healthily reframe and to talk to yourself positively. Becoming aware of subtle patterns in your life can be a game changer, and journaling can help you do this. With time and a little consistency, you'll begin to notice that there are patterns and triggers in your life that impact everything from your energy levels to your mood. Once you identify these things, you can start to intentionally add or subtract things from your life and daily routines. Next, journaling is a great resource because it enables you to explore and identify both adaptive and the counterproductive thoughts and behaviors. Transforming these from cyclical thoughts into linear sentences helps provide enough distance for you to develop a new perspective. And this in turn can enable you to prioritize your goals, problems, concerns, fears, everything. This leads into the next point, which is once you identify some counterproductive beliefs or thoughts, etc., through journaling, the next step is to reframe them into perspectives that serve you. These healthier thought processes create a meaningful, functional, personal narrative about your life. So it's basically just a story that you tell yourself about your life. Journaling also helps to reduce intrusive and avoidant thoughts, and I'm pretty sure you can guess why. Oftentimes, when we experience anxiety, we then avoid whatever it is that we're anxious about because we're anxious about it. But this is counterproductive because it just means that we'll be worrying about the stressful thing for even longer. By proactively choosing to face our fears and process our emotions and uncomfortable things via journaling, we're avoiding experiencing all of that extra negative emotion, and also we're proving to ourselves that we can persevere through the things that scare us. Another really cool benefit of journaling is that it improves working memory. The next point is that journaling can help you to be more mindful and present focused. A few months ago, I presented an education session focused on mindfulness, and if you're interested in learning more about this, we have a recording of the webinar on BeWell's YouTube channel. Journaling is also a great way to develop your self-identity. Writing about your emotions helps you build your introspective skills, which are at work even when you're not writing. Introspection further develops your self-identity because you're giving yourself a space to explore your mind, your personality, your beliefs, everything. It's really important to know who you are, and this is a great way to do so. With a better developed sense of self and ability to identify your emotions, it becomes a lot easier to emotionally regulate, or that is, be in control of your emotions regardless whatever situation you're in. Journaling also engages right-brained creativity. So for all of you creative folks out here, this is a great way to get those creative juices flowing. And then the last points are that journaling serves to provide clarity for you. It's hard to put into words, but sometimes when I journal about something, I'm genuinely surprised by what I end up writing. It helps me move from the inner circles of the feeling wheel that we looked at a couple of minutes ago to more specific, accurate labels for what can sometimes feel like indescribable emotions. As you can see by this very, very long list, journaling can help improve your quality of life in a wide variety of ways. You might be wondering how to maximize the benefits that you're getting from journaling, and I have a few simple tips for you. First and foremost, like with many wellness habits, consistency is key. It's better to journal for, say, 20 minutes a day, most days of the week, than it is to sit down and journal for like 2 hours once a week. Next, plan ahead so that your future self can easily journal whenever inspiration strikes. In a little bit, I'll share a few resources with you that will help make journaling convenient, regardless of where you are or how much time you have. Also, when you're journaling, remember, you're doing this for you, so it's really important to journal in whatever way feels most comfortable and productive for you, whether it's making lists, writing paragraphs, or even making collages representing what you're feeling. The next tip I have is don't filter anything. Personally, I love looking back on my old thought processes, but if you want to, you can destroy whatever you've written afterwards if it makes you feel more comfortable being completely honest. Or you could even use an online tool with a password, and I have a free website for this that I'll share in a little bit. My next tip is remember to be gentle with yourself. This is a process, it takes a lot of energy, and once you finish journaling, give yourself a little time to reflect on what you've processed. My last tip is if you're processing something traumatic or feel ill-equipped to effectively cope, don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional. Remember that you and your family members have access to free counseling services with the Employee Assistance Program. And for easy access to this resource, you can just check out our website. So next, I will briefly discuss a few approaches to journaling: stream of consciousness, journaling using prompts, and my favorite, art journaling. To journal using a stream of consciousness method, there's only 2 steps. First, set a timer for however long you like, and then write about anything, and don't stop writing until it goes off. Sometimes when I journal, I like to set a timer for 10 minutes and just write. Over the years, I found an effective way for me to settle into an introspective headspace is to write a few sentences about my surroundings. I usually consider each of my senses, and this helps me become more present focused. After these couple of sentences, I find that it's a lot easier for me to delve into my feelings, and it's interesting to see what I end up writing, because oftentimes what I end up writing about, I haven't consciously been thinking about. After this mind dump, if you will, I feel like my mind is much clearer because I've gotten rid of all this mental clutter. Journaling with prompts is another way to approach journaling. A set of prompts that I particularly like involve reflecting on your day and choosing a high moment and a low moment. Another way to journal with prompts is by identifying things, people, and memories that you're grateful for. And this is a really good way to help you refocus on the positives in your life. And this process also helps build resiliency. You can Google journal prompts and a ton of different topics pop up. I really like the one-word prompts because by nature, they can be interpreted in a variety of ways. So some examples are beauty. And then you can interpret this to mean, how do you define beauty? What things are beautiful to you? Happiness, what makes you happy? What brings you the most joy possible? And then I really liked this one, outside. Outside can be far-reaching, from outside the window or even how others view us on the outside. Focus. Do you find it easy to focus? Or perhaps think of focus as a camera lens. Do you zoom in or zoom out? And then angry. What makes you mad? Let all of it out. The last approach to journaling that I'll touch on today is art journaling. This is an opportunity to really get your creative juices flowing, and I can't emphasize this enough. There is no wrong way to art journal. Art journaling can serve as an avenue for emotional processing without the need to use words or to label your emotions. Similarly to the writing form of journaling, there are lots of one-word prompts online. So some examples are collage, music, light, scrunch, texture, pastels, season, favorite, bright, stencil, dreams, water. So all sorts of things come to mind, and you really could go anywhere with these prompts. So I can't take credit for any of these lovely journal entries, but to give you an idea of the many different forms that art journaling can take, here are some examples. It's just incredible to me how creative people are. It's like you're looking into their thought process in their mind. And then this one's my favorite. She just looks so blissful. I love it. I'll wrap up today's presentation by sharing some resources that you can use. So first, a resource that you probably already have but might not remember you have is that all BeWell participants have access to My Health Check 360. And in the Track Health section of the portal or the app, there's a journal feature. So if you haven't tried it already, I would definitely suggest trying it out. The second link that I have is called Journalate, and this is a free, secure online journal that you can use on the go using any browser. You can journal from your laptop or your phone, and it even has features that let you upload pictures. I haven't tried this because, as you guys know by now, I enjoy writing with pen and paper, but if you try it out, I'm interested in hearing what you think of it. I've included a website with some written journaling prompts and another website with some art journaling prompts in case you'd like some inspiration to help get you started. Also, an upcoming event that you might look forward to if you're interested in art journaling is a course in mixed media arts that UCA Outreach and Community Engagement is hosting in mid-October, so stay tuned. And then lastly, as I've mentioned earlier, there are free counseling resources available to you through our Employee Assistance Program. And so we have links to that on our website. So I appreciate all of you taking the time out of your day to learn with us. And at this time, I'm happy to answer any questions or hear any comments that you might have.
Thank you, Beth. Does anybody have any questions, comments? Anybody want to share things that you like about journaling if you are a journaler, or things that maybe hit home for you, or ideas you may try? We'd love to hear them. Okay, that's all right. Feel free to use the chat if you want. This session for BeWell participants is worth 5 lifestyle reward points. So you can just shoot me an email after we conclude today, mbruner1@uca.edu. You can just use the subject line "Power of Journaling." I'll know what that means, and I will get you a certificate of attendance for today. And you can submit that to your portal on My Health Check 360 using the category BeWell Education Sessions and Support Groups. And I will also share a session evaluation. We do this for all of our sessions, just gives you a way to give us feedback so we know how we're doing. So we appreciate you taking about a minute. It's a very quick survey. And I wanted to take the time to share my contact information. So if you have any questions or comments, feedback for BeWell, please let me know. Ideas for education sessions, we're always open to that. And then again, our website, uca.edu/BeWell, has all the information you need about BeWell, how to participate. We have a ton of wellness resources on there. So please definitely check that out. And you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We keep those up to date with some fun things. So please check those out as well. So we'll stick around for a few minutes, but for now we are adjourned. Thank you so much for joining us today.